Hello. Hello. Does it? Testing. All right, there we go. Hello and welcome to the Harriton High School class of 2021 graduation ceremony. My name is Andy Wu, and I am your student council president. My fellow vice president, Audrey Sigler, and I will serve as your masters of ceremony for this very special occasion. Today, we celebrate all that we've achieved together as a class. And I want to start by thanking everyone for joining us this morning, and I promise to try and keep this brief because last time I checked, it's going to be like 88 degrees in like a few hours.
We are so excited to be here this morning. I am Audrey Sigler, and I have had the honor of serving as your student council vice president for the past year. It has been quite the ride. Congratulations, we've made it. First and foremost, I want to say that although this is our last event altogether for a while, it is also the culmination of 12 years of learning, growing, friendships, mistakes, opportunities, and change. With recent events, I would say that change has been ever present in all of our lives. Whether it was from going to in-person classes to fully virtual, or maybe learning to spend some quality time with your families that I'm sure the seniors thoroughly enjoyed. Change is inevitable. Change is eye-opening. Change made you choose an elective, sport, class, or hobby that you wouldn't have chosen previously. You have changed. Change made you the person sitting in your seat today. And remember to continue, no matter your future endeavors, to take action and be the change. Now, Andy and I would like to extend a huge welcome to our class and invite you to please rise for the national anthem performed today by the Harriton Symphony Orchestra and Concert Band, conducted by graduating senior and your student council president, Andy Wu. Thank you. You may now take your seats and enjoy the wonderful performance of the Harriton Alma Mater by the Harriton Symphony Orchestra and Concert Band, conducted by graduating senior Fiona Fang. Thank you once again to the Harriton Symphony Orchestra and Concert Band. We are so lucky to have such an amazing music program at our school. Now, please welcome to the podium my good friend, the glue that holds us all together, someone that sends me a text at 1 a.m. with a list of things to do. You might know him as Mr. Prez, Andy Woo!
Today is an exciting day because you get to hear me give a speech, of course. For the last 4 years, I've gone through high school with a mindset of let's make things interesting. Whenever I had to make a decision about joining a club or participating in any activity, I would always ask myself, will this make your life more interesting? And if the answer was yes, I would go ahead and do it. Now, whether this was a smart idea or just plain stupid is debatable. Honestly, it's probably the latter. But in any case, I can say with no small amount of confidence that doing so has given me the opportunity and privilege of meeting many of these lovely people sitting before me today. If you think about it, it's kind of funny that in a class full of state champion athletes, nationally recognized scholars, award-winning Science Olympiad competitors, celebrated young artists, and everything in between, I'm the one who's somehow supposed to give everyone a final send-off into the world and whatever we choose to pursue. Keep in mind, I'm that same kid who twerked on stage in front of everybody here. Needless to say, I'm truly humbled. And you know what? As excited as I am for the future and what it holds, I think it's because of my fellow classmates that I'm gonna really miss high school, which is probably a sentence you've never heard from a second semester senior. But in all seriousness, growing up alongside all of you has been an honor. Some of us have been together since elementary school, and some of us maybe just met in the last year or so. But whatever the case, we are all here today, and that is something amazing. Now, I could spend the next few minutes talking about how difficult this past year has been and how resilient we all are because of the challenges we faced in this, are you ready? Unprecedented year. But in all honesty, I don't want to do that. Don't get me wrong, that is 100% true, but I don't think we should remember our graduating class by the pandemic or the challenges that came along with it. Instead, I think we should remember our graduating class for the experiences that we have had, the relationships that we have built, and the memories that we have made together. Think back. We have come so far since that day we all witnessed Mr. Johnson in a rap battle during Move Up Day. He taught us all how to say Ram Pride with the swoop and told us the 4 years were gonna fly right by. And here we are. After countless annotated maps, Socratic seminars, webassigns, and pacer tests, we are about to become Harriton graduates. And this is hard for me to believe even as I'm saying it right now, but this is probably the last time we will all be together in the same place at the same time. So I encourage everybody to step back and take it all in. Forget about your worries, forget about your future ambitions, even if just for today, and just look back on everything that you've accomplished so far. And be happy. I wanted to end with a short story. On October 12th, 2018, the Harriton Rams football team faced off against the Lower Merion Aces right here on this field. I still remember to this day, we were up 13-12 with just seconds left in the fourth quarter, only to have a punt blocked and Lower Merion score a last-second touchdown. Now, obviously, everybody was disappointed, but what was interesting to me was I didn't sense indignation from the Harriton students. It was more so warmth, humor, and levity. Instead of, that's so unfair, we should have won. It was more so, well, we're Harriton and that's who we are, and we sure aren't ashamed of it. Now, fast forward to September 27th, 2019, where Harriton faces off once again against LM right here on this field. This time, we came out on top with a score of 20-0, and every Harriton student in attendance, from every grade and every corner of our school, stormed the field, hugging strangers, cheering mindlessly, and jumping like there was no tomorrow. For me, I had never been so proud of something that I contributed absolutely nothing to. And for Harriton, it didn't matter that, in the grand scheme of things, we were still far from the best football team ever. The only thing that mattered in that moment was we were a family, we were passionate about our school, and we were proud to be Harriton Rams. Now, the reason I tell this story is because not only is it a great representation of what Harriton stands for as a school, I think it's an even better representation of the class of 2021. Our class has been through so much together, and everything that we faced with passion, drive, and humility. And I believe it's that same passion and drive that will allow us to reach the places we want to go in life. So with that, I can't wait to see where everybody goes. It has truly been an honor representing each and every one of you this past school year. So let's all pursue the things that are meaningful to us, leave the world a better place than we found it, and let's make things interesting. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Thank you, Andy. I hope you didn't stay up until 5 a.m. to write that. In all seriousness, amazing job. And I can't wait to see what the next 4 years holds for you. Next up, someone who will deliver an equally as inspiring speech, and whom myself and the rest of you have had the pleasure of getting to know, our esteemed principal, Mr. Scott Weinstein.
I'm not sure about equally inspiring, but thank you. When I was thinking of the words I wanted to deliver this morning, I was imagining the hot sun baking off this bald head of mine. And then I thought about the last 15 months, and I thought, it won't be the hot sun. It'll be probably more like golf ball-sized hail with lightning just before the torrential downpour hits, followed by a tornado, and then ultimately a tidal wave. But it still won't break our spirits, though. We did it, people. All of us. We did it. It wasn't always pretty. It wasn't without the healthy amount of intellectual discourse that you would expect from a community that values education like ours. But we experienced it collectively, nonetheless, and we are here at our most celebrated occasion, commencement. Welcome, I'm Scott Weinstein. I am the principal of Harriton, and on behalf of Superintendent Mr. Robert Copeland, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Alexis McGloin, the members of the Board of School Directors, and our esteemed faculty and staff members, I would like to thank you for joining us this morning. I start by welcoming back our distinguished Harriton alumni. Alumni, if you're in the audience, could you please stand to be recognized? We appreciate your pride for Harriton and are thankful you are here with us this morning. If you've attended my many community meetings throughout this past year, you know I'd like to start with gratitude. Even in this difficult year, there was so much of it to go around. I will start with gratitude and weave it into the rest of my words to honor various groups. First, to the people in positions of leadership. This was more of a challenging year to make decisions. You were essentially balancing the safety of the people with the experiences in schools. To the members of the Board of School Directors, thank you. You have volunteered to be thrust into the toughest leadership job of our lifetimes. We thank you. To our central office administration, led by Superintendent Copeland, thank you. You listened, sometimes challenged us. You made decisions involving different stakeholder groups. It was not a popular role in any community. Superintendent Copeland, as you move on into retirement, I hope you know that you have led us well through many challenges beyond COVID. We recognize your talents and expertise and know that you are leaving us better than you found us. Congratulations, sir. Speaking of retirement, I want to honor our Harriton retirees who will be leaving us this year and ask you to join me in applause at the end of this list. Miss Irene Adams, Mr. Peter Crook, Mr. Frank Iannelli, Dr. Carla Coleman, Miss Rhonda Kiefer, Miss Maria Thomas, and finally our two main graduation coordinators who make this event possible, Mr. Tom Ferguson and Mr. Peter Murray. Please give all of these Harriton retirees a round of applause. Parents and guardians, we use the language partnering with families often, but never has it felt more true than this year. The community often gets a reputation for being tough, And don't get me wrong, people, you can be tough. But I have found overwhelmingly that you are supportive and that your encouragement to our faculty and staff this year have been inspiring, and we are grateful for you. Class of 2021, what a special class. I get the honor of being able to address you today, but know that the admiration I share is on behalf of the Harriton faculty and staff, many of them sitting with you this morning. Our 12th grade English teachers decided 3 years ago to make their final writing assignment a commencement speech. Since then, I've asked our senior English teachers to please share some samples of the students' work. You see, the commencement speech, the speech I'm delivering right now, is one of the more challenging speeches to craft. So every year I just plagiarize mine. But it is my pleasure to cite up my references and give credit where it is due to our seniors. I will start by using our seniors' voice to honor our teachers for the unfamiliar work they navigated this year in the monumental task of pandemic teaching. Jake Rasmussen said, "To our teachers, I cannot begin to express my gratitude because I know that however hard this year has been for students, it has been twice as hard on teachers. To bring optimism to students' screens across the district has been a feat that we students will never comprehend, and one that has made these times just a little more joyful for us." Thank you, Jake. I actually want to pause there. I want to pause on Jake's words for a moment because they have greater meaning to me and are representative for more than just the teachers he spoke about. Think about this for a moment. Students who seemingly lost so much of their expected high school experiences over the last 2 years are grateful and thinking of their teachers. I've heard those sentiments frequently from the class of 2021. Jake, thanks for capturing that theme and representing the maturity and often selflessness of your class. That is pretty special. Here are some other thoughts from your classmates. Sam Finkelstein said, "In 9th grade, I remember looking to the seniors with full beards and hairy legs and seeing them as adults. Scary adults, I might add. They seemed like they had their lives figured out, but the truth of the matter is seniors don't know everything, and that's okay. We are still learning this world every day, mapping out our lives piece by piece." Sujith, where are you, Suj? Suj, I can honestly read your entire speech, but I'll summarize it. You taught us all that kindness and positivity always win. You are undefeated, my friend. Laney Gold-Rapp said this, "Harriton aims for inclusivity and compassion, especially now we use our infrastructure of kindness to survive the world's most difficult year in recent memory. We encourage empathy and collective responsibility over our school culture and wider communities. To graduate as a Harriton student is to be prepared not only for career success or office productivity, but also for a happy life filled with care for others. I leave you now trusting you to create that life for yourselves full of Harriton spirit." Wow, Laney. I hope others feel that sentiment of those words. It's really beautiful. Ari Beal honors the class of 2021 by asking, "What makes Harriton so special?" The answer is simple, you. For most of the year, I was merely a box on the whiteboard. Without you, my fellow students, I would have felt like just a box on the screen. You made me feel human in a year that stripped me of the thing I love the most, communication. Class of 2021, these are my few words. I share them with you on behalf of the faculty and staff. We are so proud of you and sincerely wish you the best. In continuing to honor our students, I give Enya Zhang the last words from the last stanza of her poem. "Polish your iron, admire your gold. Then set again, fearless and bold. Inhale the future, feel it in your veins. Symptoms include growing pains. Your character arc has reached its full curve. You entered to learn, now go forth to serve." Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weinstein, for those touching words and also for being with us every step of the way as we went throughout high school. Throughout the past year, I've been lucky enough to work alongside Mr. Weinstein in organizing many of our beloved school events, and I can say without a doubt, he is someone who places the best interests of the Harriton students above all else. He's almost like that cool uncle who gives you everything your parents don't let you have. But seriously, on behalf of the class of 2021, thank you so much, Mr. Weinstein, for your unwavering commitment to making Harriton a better place. Now, please welcome to the podium School Board President, Ms. Lucy Klein.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Board of School Directors, I would like to welcome you here this morning and offer our congratulations to our graduating seniors, the class of 2021, and also to your families and friends. As a parent of a 2021 graduate, albeit an LM1, it is an honor to speak this morning as I know firsthand what a great group of students you are. I also happen to be a Harriton 2020 graduate parent, and how thrilled I am that you have this opportunity to be out here on the field today. It's really hitting me at this moment what we missed last year. This moment in time, graduating high school and moving on to your next adventure is a huge challenge, but also a huge opportunity. Your ability to navigate the challenges of a global pandemic, switching from in-person school to remote learning on a dime in the middle of your junior year, figuring out how to balance hybrid and online classes, and re-envisioning how everything works in a world of masks and social distancing shows how full of grit and determination you are. You took circumstances beyond your control and forged ahead to create your own memories of a senior year so different than any other. Your creativity and that of your parents and guardians and the staff led to an outdoor prom with food trucks and this graduation right here on the field where so many of you competed and forged friendships through teamwork. Despite all of those challenges, you have achieved so much. Among the graduates here today, you have earned many academic accomplishments through DECA, TSA, and Science Olympiad, and had many individual achievements in math, speech, debate, among others. You reimagined theater for a virtual world and held your Harriton Theater Company performances on Zoom. You created amazing art despite limited access, winning state and national art and writing awards. Over the past 4 years, your classmates have won team and individual competitions and championships in track and field, lacrosse, soccer, cross country, golf, and tennis, to name just a few. And this year, you were able to achieve these wins while wearing masks during every practice and every competition. You are dedicated to service and driven to activism. Dr. Harriton raised over $15,000, remarkable for an event that could only hold 100 people. You implemented a virtual tutoring program for younger LMSD students, providing not only homework help, but friendship and support as well. You hosted a virtual SAGE conference on everyday activism, and you continued the fight for racial justice, not only within our schools, but in the wider community. Your activism inspired us as a school board to convene our ad hoc committee on equity and anti-racism and to work on creating a district-wide equity policy, which will be voted on next week. You may be leaving our schools today, but your impact will be felt by all of the students who will follow you. And while we rightly celebrate all of the traditional ways that you have shown success, we also celebrate everyone who has taken a risk, fought through obstacles, and shown kindness and compassion to others. Each of these is so important, and each of these is an opportunity as you move on to your next adventure. Make sure to enjoy life and bring joy to others. Remember, this is your day, and this is your world. Be kind, seek justice, and be inspired. Congratulations on graduating, class of 2021. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ms. Klein, for those great remarks. And thank you so much to all the members of the school board for serving the LMSD schools. It is now my esteemed honor to introduce my fellow graduate, who is the 2021 Harriton Salutatorian, Sophie Bulware.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sure a lot of you, like me, would normally never be awake at this hour, but I suppose we can make an exception for our final moments of high school. We finally made it here. So much has changed in these 4 years, and not just in the people around us, but in not just in the world around us, but in who we are as people. As I think back on my days in high school, all of my favorite memories involve the people I've met here. Even as everything shut down due to the pandemic, and I was only able to see people's faces through Zoom, or rather, should I say, I was at least able to see their names on the screen, the strength of the bonds I've made have not diminished. I've never been one to open up and take the spotlight easily. It takes me a long time to get comfortable with someone, and I definitely wasn't looking to be up on the stage today. But, as Socrates advised, be slow to fall into friendship, but when you are in, continue firm and constant. By now, people who were just passing acquaintances in freshman year have become my closest friends. For so many of us, our clubs and activities are where we found these connections. For me, these clubs were Science Olympiad and Latin Club. They are places to forge deeper connections, and they push us to grow. Not only did I acquire academic knowledge through these clubs, but I was pushed to put myself out there, and I even performed in the pep rally with Latin Club. As Cicero said, nam et secundas res splendidiores facit amicitia et adversas partiens communicantque labiores, meaning, friendship improves happiness and abates misery by doubling our joys and dividing our grief. The joys we've had due to our friends are only just beginning, though. The world before us is filled to the brim with new experiences to have and people to meet. So I hope you all nurture and treasure the friendships you've made here, even as we head out to make great new ones in college. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophie, not only for your words, but also for carrying our E&M class. A huge congratulations goes out to our next speaker. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce someone who is way smarter than I will ever be. Harriton's 2021 valedictorian, Nina Holland.
Writing this speech, I couldn't help but wonder if graduation would go on as planned. We spent hours practicing our instruments for concerts that never happened, preparing for conventions and competitions just for them to be moved online, and running through drills at sports practice hoping we'll get a season. To say some of this felt disappointing would be an understatement. However, this spring I read a novel with a line that helped to change my perspective. It said, "We plant an apple tree today, even if we know the world is going to be destroyed tomorrow." From this, I began to realize that while the fruit that our trees produce look different, the games, the competitions, the concerts, even our school days, I'm proud of us for still planting our apple trees. In some ways, the pandemic challenged the feelings of independence we gained throughout high school. In high school, we get to pick our classes for the first time and choose where we eat lunch. For many, it means learning to drive and increased freedom. A pandemic to complete high school turned seniors into freshmen again, confined to the cafeteria and library for a freeze. But the pandemic also shows we have the ability to make the most of a situation. It would have been easy to let it take over, to turn our cameras off on Zoom, to stop practicing and meeting with our clubs, and let things get canceled and not care. So thank you to my fellow classmates who kept planting apple trees. Thank you to the members of Student Council for playing music in the hallways on Thursdays, and for making Dr. Harriton a possibility. Thank you to the artists who put together musicals we could watch from home, and continued painting, sculpting, soldering, and photographing, so our lobby would be filled with the most impressive artwork when we got back into the building. Thank you to the club presidents and sports captains who kept your clubs and teams running this year. Thank you to my classmates who invited me and others to sit with you at lunch when we didn't know anyone else. Thank you for your music recommendations in academic seminar, your jokes in stat class, and for conversations that made me look forward to having gym at 7:30. These are the things I will remember and miss. Every one of you continued to plant your apple trees this year, making an impact on your classmates, whether you know it or not. I also want to give the biggest of thank yous to the administrators, the teachers, and the parents and guardians who've been planting apple trees all throughout our years at Harriton. In a world of lockdowns and restrictions, we never know what tomorrow will look like. So thank you to the administration for making Harriton our home the past 4 years, for getting us back to school safely, and giving us the most normal end to high school possible. Thank you to our teachers who had to deal with constantly changing schedules and online learning and still made class something I look forward to every day. Thank you to our parents and guardians for supporting us as we navigated high school, especially in a pandemic. My favorite book series includes a chapter in which the main characters graduate high school as the class of 1910. The speaker at their graduation asked them the question, after commencement, what? While times are different, they were lucky to see a car, and all of us dread when the parking lot is full of them at 2:40 each day. Over 100 years later, each of us seniors face the same question. When answering it, we must remember what the past year and a half have taught us. Tomorrow is not a promise, and we don't have as much control over that as we would like to believe. But there's still value in planting our apple trees. So, class of 2021, after commencement, what? It's time for me to stop talking and you to decide. Thank you.
Thank you, Nina. And again, congratulations on being this year's valedictorian. Our final remarks this morning are from the superintendent of the Lower Merion School District, Mr. Robert Copeland.
Thank you. I was going to make a remark about Mr. Weinstein, but he was so nice to me, now I'm not sure I want to do it. I'll do it anyway. So when I hired Scott, I thought, you know, he might have a good effect. He's kind of more reserved than the principal at other school. And then he came to me and he said, I got 2 teachers that want to build a chicken coop. So that didn't work. Good morning and welcome. As others have said, this is a nice improvement over last year's. Although if you weren't involved, you wouldn't know that the administration came out for, 5 days in a row, I think it was, and made sure that the kids had an experience separated by about 15 minutes and tried to make it as good as they could. It was a Harriton parent who said to me, you know, it wasn't so bad. I didn't have to fight for parking and I didn't have to hear your speech. You didn't end up so easy. But in all seriousness, I want to, I'd be remiss if I didn't, again, recognize the high school administration and staff for all their hard work and creativity necessary to make today happen. Producing this year's graduation, prom, so many other milestone events took many hours of planning and logistics under extraordinary circumstances. In fact, if I may take a minute of personal privilege to make an observation, it was Winston Churchill who said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." As horrific as the last 15 months may have been, we made use of and learned from circumstances. Moving a strategic plan forward is usually a bit like teaching someone to swim. First, their comfort in the water, then using a kickboard or swimmies to learn to tread water and to float, then strokes. Slow, deliberate, and methodical would be the industry norm. And that makes sense. After all, we're in a very serious business of educating children and young adults. But last year, the swimming lesson was a push into the deep end. And I have to say the district's teachers, administrators, and support staff jumped right in with some Olympic caliber swimming. I believe we learned how to build better authentic assessments, use technology in a thoughtful way, essentialize and transform curriculum, re-engineer staff learning, and give greater voice to students and redefining success. You know, this is my 20th year as a superintendent in my 3rd district of schools. I have worked with some amazing teachers over the years, but usually the high school folks, well, shall we say, they're reluctant early adopters. Not so here. In fact, when I reflect on the quality of instruction, the dedication to task, and the determination of those teachers, well, I take issue with the oft-repeated phrase, learning loss. No, it was learning differently. To that, we're going to plead guilty. And if you have ever lived for a long time, if you've lived for a long time here and not experienced other high schools, let me tell you from my experience, this place has no peer. Normally, implementing a new idea in a high school is like pushing a stone uphill. Here, I bring them an idea, or they bring me an idea, and the stone is running away at breakneck speed while I find myself racing up saying, yeah, oh, I'm the leader here. Remember me? Yes, this has been a very difficult year. For me and for many of my colleagues, including your teachers with lots of experience, it was numbing to realize that our dependency on solving problems based on prior similar circumstances was not going to cut it. We had to rethink and learn on the run. And that's my message to you as graduates. It is my hope that through this experience and your years here, you will be nimble rethinkers. Adam Grant's a professor of organizational psychology at the Wharton School. He's authored a book called Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know. I've made it mandatory reading for all administrators this summer. Adam Grant opens his book by describing a forest fire in 1949. Smoke jumpers sought to stop a wildfire in the Man Gulch section of Montana. Wagner Dodge, the crew chief, and his men dropped from a plane and began fighting the fire in the way they had been trained. As they worked, Dodge realized that there was no way to overcome the rapidly expanding fire. Dodge stopped working, took out a book of matches, and started a fire in his path. He built an escape fire, thus depriving the ongoing flames of fuel. When the time was right, he also dropped his heavy equipment. Now, this was a move that was counterintuitive to anything any of them had ever learned. And he told his men to follow them. Few did, and as a result of their clinging to what they had always done, many perished. Wagner Dodge didn't have time to deeply analyze the situation. He had to improvise something that was not taught, was not part of his training. As we come out of this pandemic and reintroduce ourselves to one another, I hope we keep rethinking as a top COVID keeper. But not just for research, schoolwork, or professional advancement, but also for living in a diverse and complicated world, in challenging stereotypes, and being open to hear what others may say without moral superiority, and being willing to build up rather than tear down, in rethinking solutions. Oh, and that doesn't mean everything is new. In fact, James Fenimore Cooper described the process of escape fires in his novel, The Prairie, which was written in 1827, but Wagner Dodge didn't know about it. He had to rethink and know what he didn't know. We have an opportunity to make use of COVID crisis to embark on a voyage of rethinking, reinventing, and redeveloping. This past year of pandemic and, yes, challenges of racial trauma, political division, and real threats to our democracy require us to be nimble participants in growing our world. When I read Grant's book, and it's a good read, and in fact, if there's anyone out there that knows the gentleman and can put in a good word for us, we'd like to have him as a speaker. When I read the book, it struck me that this is a useful handbook for our strategic plan. And let me say to you with all sincerity, it is a plan that is much more than pretty words. Our educators and administrators have worked tirelessly to implement a progressive approach to rethinking our schools, and we have tangible results to prove it. But it's not done. We need to continue to challenge deeply held ways of doing things, expand our project-based learning, develop transformative programs of study, challenge the old ways of measuring success, and develop the community resources to ensure equity is the lens by which we judge progress. And so, if you think of it and you have time, drop me a line, let me know how it's going. Being superintendent of the best school district in the Commonwealth and one of the top ones in the nation has been my honor and deeply felt privilege. As you go forth to serve, my best wishes and love to you all. Godspeed, Rams.
Thank you, Mr. Copeland. We will now invite Mr. Weinstein back to the podium to begin the presentation of diplomas.
Row 1, if you will please stand up and line up. We will now begin the presentation of the diplomas. While we share in your joy for the occasion, we respectfully request that your celebrations for your child are kept to a polite clap. An overzealous celebration can possibly deny another family the opportunity to hear their child's name. Thank you so much in advance for your cooperation. As is a Harriton tradition, the names of the graduates will be read by student leaders. I will first award the diploma to our valedictorian, then our salutatorian, followed by our student council officers, who will in turn present the names of our remaining graduates. Nina Holland. Congrats, Nina. Sophie Bolware. Congrats, Sophie. Thank you. Andy Wu. Congrats, Andy Wu. Audrey Sigler. Congrats, Audrey. Good job. Sophie Weinstein. Soph. Jade Zhu. The first group of names will be read by Audrey Sigler, and the first set of diplomas will be awarded by School Board President, Ms. Lucy Klein.
Omar Abonar. Natalie Agostini. Vincent Agostini. Abdulaziz Alazemi. Kyle Avellino. Thomas Bator. Ari Adler Beal. Blake Beauvais. Merritt Beck. Goldie Beck. Mandy Becker. Brooke Bednoff. Sam Belcher. Dario Hassan Khani. Nathaniel Benioff. Ava Faye Bernstein. Samantha Rose Biglin. Elizabeth Rose Blackburn. Dara Brooke Blesnak. Ashley Heather Bluestein. Patrick Robert Boken. Nolan Boone. Alessandro Borelli. Ryan Breaker. The next set of diplomas will be awarded by our school board vice president, Dr. Melissa Gilbert. David Brandeis. Nazarene Elizabeth Boone. Maya Reese Burke. Marina Burke. Ryan William Byrne. Lexi Calhoun. Gregory Karp. Alex Carson. Tyler Carson. Joshua Cave. Gianfranco Coella. William Coleman. Wes Copley. Antonio Luis Corsino. Raymond Costello. Isaiah Cowan. Michael Craven Jr. Liam Cunningham. Arbion John Daku. Peyton Davis. Olivia Dolly. Dinah DeBooth. Juna DeBooth. Daniel DeBaton. Harry Samuel DeCecco. Robert Deneen. Hatsuki William DeVoe. Neha Dinwada. Samantha Diamond. Zachary Dilsheimer. The next set of diplomas will be presented by our school board director, Miss Lori Achtman. Riley Dilworth. Sam Diddy. Hippo Duche. Alexandra Duranton. Matthias Edelstein. Ofek Eisenbach. Jamie Eisner. Oren Eldor. Jessica Ermy. Henry E. Fetter. Fiona Fang. Anna Finkel. Samuel Cabot Finkelstein. Kaylee Finnerty. Blaze Fletcher Broderson. Seth Fleazar. Emma Flood. Joshua Fontak. Brandon Faust. Ethan Fox. Sophia Fox. Grace Foxman. Noah Francis. Camille Fuhr. Ethan Gez. Finnegan Glue. Lainey Goldrap. Austin Goldstein. Isabella Goray. Siddharth Gowda. The next set of names will be read by my fellow student council officer and best friend, Sophie Weinstein, and the following set of diplomas will be awarded by school board director, Mr. Ben Driscoll.
Serena Goyle. Ryan Grace. Thomas Grazier. Sabrina Greenberg. Bo Greisiger. Kiana Greer. Sarah Griffin. Brennan Grossman. Kylie Gutman. Ryan Hannigan. Jack Havey. Spencer Hernandez. Julie Hirsch. Anna Mai Huang. Terrence Patrick Hunter. Carolyn Eisenberg. Anya Jayanthi. Amal Jala. Willow Kaminsky. Thomas Karavalis. Olivia Karwoski. Sydney Kasmer. Jeffrey Seamus Kelly. Owen Patrick Kelly. Bradley Stephen Kelly. Jacob Kirstein. Mavia Khan. Aiden Killian. Olivia Kim. Giovannina Marie Kirby. The next set of diplomas will be presented by School Board Director, Ms. Shayna Kalish. Kaylin Rose Claudy. Gabriella Corin. Michael Spencer Kotler. Andre Abbas Kuzin. Benjamin Samuel Kozloff. Riley Grace Kramer. Ilya Simon Craybill. Riley Joseph Kreiser. Rachel Catherine Kreiser. Ria Kumar. Erica Curry. Sarah Quas. James Bishop Lane. William Lautenbach. Thomas Lautenbach. Sydney Lavin. Sarah G. Lee. Maddie Lefkowitz. Lauren Lesser. Alec Lewis. Jordan Lewis. Aaron Leyland. Maya Liddell. Reese Lenow. Daniel Lipschitz. Nina Long. The next set of diplomas will be presented by School Board Director, Mr. Peter Lee. Alexia Luca. Hillary Lutz. Natalie Lutz. Jack Lynch. Konstantin Machulenka. Alexander Magder. Jared Markowitz. Lorelei Marple. Brandon Martin. Nick Masterman. Corey Maston. Margaret Mayer. Soren McClay. Eliza McManus. Michael Midvekis. Tori Myler. Anna Mihaila. Sophia Miller. Joshua Milrod. Teddy Molyneux. Samantha Molad. John Moore. Grayson Morgenstern. Audrey Moriarty. Xenia Mose. Paige Mullen. Monet Murphy. Patrick Murtaugh. Ty Nagvajara. The next group of names will be read by my new college rival and fellow student council officer, Secretary Jade Zhu. The following set of diplomas will be presented by School Board Director, Mr. Sean Mooring.
Cassidy Naines. Mylan Nguyen. Lachlan Northington. Jeff O'Neill. Ashton Odiorn. Sydney Odiorn. Aaron Onish. Ryan Orlov. Matilde Ortiz. Williams Palencia. Alex Parada. Devin Parikh. Nusha Parvizi. Emily Petros. Sloan Uger Peterson. Guillaume Placide. Mariana Pleshe. Sujith Patluri. Kirtan Prasad. Katerina Pratos. Evan Prince. Finn Ragazzino. Haniz Ramsey. Alec Raphael. Ben Raphael. John Rasmussen. Eliza Rayfield. Lucas Reiner. Anna Reisner. Maya Richter. Annika Ridke. Mike Rinaldi. Chase Robbins. Lyrica Robinson. Christopher Rodriguez. Hector Rodriguez. Camilo Romero Stevenson. Sage Roshkoff. Susanna Rubin. Zach Rubin. Owen Albert Crispin Ryan. Blake Saketa. Dominic Scardecchio. Nilani Joy Shiner. Juliana Schweitzer. Brett Seelig. Avinash Shende. Mackenzie Sherman. Raphael Shmulevich. And the last set of diplomas will be presented by School Board Director, Ms. Suba Robinson. Cash Shojayan. Corey Siegel. Jonathan Silverman. Hillel Simon Hazani. Sarah Singer. Amanda Smith. Jordan Lynn Smith. Christina Sniffen. Finn Snyder. Daniel Soslowski. Madeline Soul. Jonah Srulovich. Madeline Victoria Stavrianos. Justin Stearman. Sophia Steffen. Abigail Steinberg. Olivia Caitlin Korsgaard Strong. Eva Sturdivant. Samuel Sullivan. Morgan A. Thomas. Sage Teresi. Benna Trachtenberg. Aaron Trader. Isaiah Trader. Anthony Turner. Bob Tiska. Laura Vardanov. Tristan Vega. Tyler Vega. Madison Verman. Noah Robert Volkel. Ashley Wald. Maya Waldstreicher. Maria Wong. Samantha Wells. Paige Wilder. Paige Willis. Tristan Rabel. Zoe Wright Riley. Enya Xiang. Matthew Yoon. Alexander Young. And Evan Zales.
Where? I can't find it. Wait, want to sign this whole thing in order? All right. Yep. Yeah. Congratulations, graduates. We are so close, but in order to make it official, please join me in welcoming Mr. Copeland to lead the tassel ceremony.
Mr. Weinstein, members of the Board of School Directors, at this time it is my distinct privilege and honor for me as the Superintendent of Schools to present the Harriton High School class of 2021 and to certify that each student has successfully completed the program of studies prescribed by the state of Pennsylvania and the Board of School Directors of Lower Merion School District required for a high school diploma. And now, will the Harriton High School class of 2021 please rise? Before you can move on, you've got to move the tassel. By the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Board of School Directors of the Lower Merion School District, I declare each and every one of you to be a graduate of Harriton High School. Congratulations.
Now you can throw it. That's Denise.